Hi, my name is Kari Eide Hartvedt, and I am pleased to introduce Niels Stielund from WPU, who will present to us a company presentation followed by a Q&A. Niels Stielund, please go ahead.
Yes, good morning and welcome to a short presentation of waste plastic upcycling from Denmark. We have built the first of 3 factories in Denmark where we are going to upcycle end-of-life waste plastic to a feedstock product that we sell to our customers. We are building 3 factories in Denmark. As I said, the first one is finished and up and running, and we're using pyrolysis to convert the plastic waste, and we are doing it in a special technology that we call batch technology. And we are using the batch technology because it's very simple and it's very efficient and it's actually low cost to build it. And that makes it possible to make a very strong economic situation out of this, because we have a very low capex and a very low opex for the system. The system here for the first factory consists of 6 individual lines, because we have had a test unit running for more than 1 year in the past, and we decided to build 6 exactly the same lines as we had in our test facility, instead of building 1 unit that was 6 times bigger. This gives us a modular construction, and it makes it very easy to scale up and to build factories in a very fast pace. And all the output we get out of the systems is going to the worldwide trader of commodities called Vitol. And they are taking all the oil we are producing from our 3 Danish factories, and also for the next 2 international factories we are going to build. So all the oil is secured by Vitol at a price scheme we know. So it makes it a very stable income for us. And because of this modular construction, we are also ready to roll it out, our system in other European countries to start with. Our batch technology is what differentiates us from the other players in the market, because we take the end-of-life plastic and we put it into our batch system, where it will go through a pyrolysis process and a gasification and a condensation, and then we end up with a liquid product which is ISCC Plus certified, because we are using only end-of-life plastic. And this is a European sustainability certification, and then the product can be used, for example, for new plastic production. And as you can see under the batch, our batch system is feeded in big batches. That's here from where the word comes, and it makes it very tolerant to different types of plastic and different kinds of sorting. We're not sensitive to a detailed sorting of the plastic, and also not to cleaning, shredding, drying, and things like that for the plastic. So we can take it as it is, and this makes it very robust and flexible in our production. Because the batch technology, we are using it because, as you can see, waste plastic is not a homogeneous animal. To the left, you can see some plastic products from the industry. Here you have it including steel bands around the baggage here, and we can take it as it is and load it directly into our reactor. And the middle picture is some household plastic, including pate and other food products. And to the right, you can see some farmland plastic. And all of this, it's compressed, so it's very heavy. So we get a lot of energy out of it. And we can load it, as I said, as it is, without any special treatment. And especially this with the special treatment is important, because what is killing most of this kind of business is that you're using too much energy to pre-treat the plastic before you can run it in your systems. And we are not hit by that, because we are not pre-treating the plastic at all. So we are not drying it, cleaning it, threading it down, or anything else. We just take it as it is. And at the same time, our process, when the plastic is in the reactor, it's a totally circular process because our entire system is running on old plastic and not by gas products, natural gas or any other things. We use a gas that is being released during the process itself to run the entire system. And we have some extra benefits out of the system here because we have a lot of excess heating. And this excess heat is going to some district heating companies if they are interested in that. And we can see that now we are discussing with a lot of interesting parties to take all the excess heat we have from our exhaust systems. So that's an extra benefit which we have not calculated right now, but we are working on that. And our first facility in Forvejle in Denmark is up and running, and it has been taken 1 year from we were digging the first hole in the ground to the left until we have the first oil out here to the right. So it has been a very, very fast pace in during this construction, building the entire factory, getting all the equipment and setting it up and running the first oil. And we can do that very fast because we are using this batch technology, which is actually much more simple than what many others are trying to do. So it has been fast and very scalable to roll out in other countries. This is just a very short overview about our ramp-up process for the Forvejle factory, because we have started up the first one line of production. And on this one line, we are adjusting and fine-tuning and calibrating the entire system. So all the common products, you can say the heating or the cooling products, the cooling system, and the software and all these kind of things are being adjusted on this one with this one line running. And when it's done, we are making a copy paste to the next lines. So there's a full plan for this, and we expect all 6 lines to be running in 2 shifts in Q4 this year. We have already now been running the first 11 runs on this one reactor where we have been doing this adjustments and calibration. So we have already more than 33 tons of oil produced, ready to go to our customer. And there's a very good and fine economic situation behind this or out of this, because the revenue is very interesting, and because our capex and opex are very low, we make a very good business out of it. So we expect an EBITDA of about 15 million euros per year for these 6 reactors, and we have a capex of 14 million euros to build the factory. So actually a 1 year payback time per factory. And the next 2 factories will be located in Nakskov and Esbjerg in Denmark. It's in the harbor areas where we have the land secured. And here we will have 2 6-reactor lines in both places. So actually 12 reactors in each place. We start in Q4 with the first one in Nakskov, and in Q3 next year in Esbjerg. And here the capex for the construction is 25 million euros for each of the double size factories. The financing for this construction is almost in place. We're working on the last details, and then we should be ready to start in Q4 with the Nakskov. We have some partners in this. We have a very good technology partner in DTU, the Danish Technology University in Denmark. And we have Vitol as the industrial and commercial partner, as they are buying all the oil. And we have the Danish Nykredit as a financial partner in this setup. And together with these 3 partners, we have managed to do this setup in an extremely fast and scalable way. And the ramp up here in Forvejle is, as I said, ongoing. A few pictures here from the production. And when we are up and running, the 6 lines can take 42,000 tons of plastic per year, and we will produce about 30 to 32,000 tons of pyrolysis product to Vitol out of that, and double size in Nakskov and Esbjerg. And here we have a short overview of the ramp-up period. The first line up here is for Vejle. We have finished the construction, are in the middle of the ramp-up, and Q4 we go fully operational. And at the same time, we start the construction in Nakskov. Yes, so that was a very short overview about WPU and where we are right now. So thank you for listening, and have a good day.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Niels Stielund from WPU. And first of all, congratulations on finishing the Vejle plant on time and on budget. And I must say, we haven't seen other players doing it that fast and also to that low capex level. So my first question will obviously be, how did you manage to do that?
Yeah, I think the short answer is that a group of very dedicated people, and also, of course, because we made a choice from the beginning about which kind of technology we would like to go with in our facilities, and we went with a batch system for many reasons. But one of them is that it's actually very easy, very fast, a little bit more simple than many other systems, but it's working fine, and I think that's the way to do it. And because of that, yes, we have been on time and on budget.
Right. And one could maybe wonder, if you go for a lower capex solution, will then this go out over the margins? But you have actually guided 80% EBITDA margin. So how are you both able to keep OPEX low, but EBITDA margins and operational leverage high?
Yeah, it is more or less because of the same thing, because our system is very simple and easy to operate. So we don't need many workers for this, yeah, all the you can say the general operation of the system is simple and very efficient. So we have a very high productivity, high capacity on the system, and although we have a very low capex, so that's why the margins are very interesting to all. So yeah, again, back to the batch solution, because it is more simple. We do not have a fully automatic loading system into our reactors. We decided to make it simple. We have a reactor where we are putting plastic in one end, and at the other end we get our pyrolysis oil coming out. And we say that we do not want to pre-treat the plastic. We don't need to pre-treat the plastic. And that's a big energy and money consuming thing. If you have to pre-treat the plastic in many different ways, like cleaning, drying, threading the plastic, we don't need that. We can load it as it is in big pallets. So it is very low time and money consuming and very efficient. And at the other end, when the oil comes out, we have sold it as it is to Vitol. So they take it as it is, and they do the after treatment that is necessary depending on which type of customer we're going to use it. So we say we are only converting end of life plastic into a new feedstock that Vitol can after treat and sell to different users. So by taking away those two parts, the pre-treatment of the plastic and the after treatment of the oil, we have a very much more simple system, and by that lower operation cost.
Yes, right. And as you said, other players have been focusing more about continuous processes, and you are going for the batch. But now, when this has proven quite successful, at least for construction and up until production, how are you going to protect those margins? How are you going to protect your first mover advantage in this space as a batch technology provider?
Yeah, we have been looking into several areas where we could, if we could take a patent or something like that, but it's very time and money consuming to go that way. So we decided instead to move out in the fast lane And because we have this very modular construction, our system and our factories, we have decided to go out in the fast lane and build factories as quickly as possible. And we have 3 factories in Denmark when we are up and running, and we have a long list of potential partners for other countries in Europe who are asking for cooperation with our technology. So we will pretend or protect our system, you can say, by keeping our first mover advantage as long as possible. We know, of course, others will also start looking into the batch solution, because it is very simple, it is very flexible, because as you said, we can take the big pallets of plastic, many different types of plastic in the same batch, and so on. So of course others will be looking at that way, but it's not only to build the animal, it's also to run it, and that's where the big secret is. And that's also why we decided to go with instead of one unit that was 6 times bigger than our test unit, we went on with 6 units, exactly as the one we know is working. So we are taking all the guesswork out of the construction of this first factory, and also now the first line is up and running with the very, very limited adjustments we had to do. So we are very comfortable with our first mover position, and no, it's not just the push of a button when it's up and running.
Right. And as you said, the first line is being adjusted and is running batches. You have run 11 batches on the first line with higher oil yield than expected, 80% on average, as opposed to the 70% on budget. Will we maybe see you revising your budgets going forward due to this higher oil yield?
Yeah, we will. Of course, we will adjust our budget, but we need a little longer run. What we have been doing now is most of the runs here has not been to produce oil. It has been to calibrate the system and our software, and we run one day, and then the next 2 days our people, they are investigating all the technical data from the runs and doing some adjustments to optimize things, and that is the way we have been optimizing the yield from the 70 to the 80%. But we will wait and see. We need some months real you can say daily production before we look into that, because it has also something to do with the mix of plastic and things like that. So we will see, but for now we are really optimistic, because we had actually expected to be lower than the average yield that we will have when we are up and running with all the lines. So it has been positive so far.
And as you also mentioned, it's not just to build and just push a button, you also have to operate it, and that's kind of the secret sauce. But we have also seen from other players in the past that going from test scale and to industrial scale might reveal some bottlenecks or hidden challenges. How are you going about the risk from going from test scale to industrial scale now in this very exciting time going forward?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Going from a project to a real company doing daily business, it's 2 very different things. But that's where we have all the experience from our test unit that we built it back in time. We were running for almost 1 year with that test unit to collect all the data that is necessary to run real production. And that's also why we decided that our facility here in Forvejle and like the rest of them will be with more reactor lines, exactly as the one we were running back in time. So we are taking the guesswork out of the production, because we are not trying to stretch, you can say, the corners in the technology and try to scale it up. Where our upscaling is more a copying of the lines we know that is working. So we are pretty confident that if we are running with one line now, we know it's working exactly as our test unit was doing. We know the next 5 lines will do exactly the same. When we have finished all the calibration and the adjustments on line number 1, we make a copy paste on the software to the next 5 lines, and then we are up and running. So we are pretty confident that our ramp up period is working as it should.
And it's by Q4 2023 that we hope to be up and running on all 6 lines, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Very exciting. For the Vejle plant, you have approached a build, own, operate strategy. And we also know that you have 2 more plants coming, Nakskov and Esbjerg. And what is your approach going forward regarding these 2 plants?
Yeah, it will be under the same ownership and in the same setup as we have here in Vejle, because one of the reasons why we have been able to construct and build a full factory and put it up and running in 1 year is because, as I started from the beginning, it's a group of very dedicated people who are focusing on what they have to do, each of them. And we will move on to the Nakskov and further on to Esbjerg in exactly the same way. It will be the same people who will move on to construct and build the next factories and setting it up and running in the same way. So it will be a copy of what we have been doing in the Vejle, and with the same people and with the same ownership as we have today in the WPU.
Right. So with a build, own, operate strategy, you will also need to finance the next 2 plants. And what is your thoughts around financing for Nakskov and Esbjerg?
Yeah, we have been looking into different options about how to finance the next facilities, and we are lucky that you can say that our partners has been trusting us so far, and they have been helping us with the financing the Vejle factory. And we are right now in the negotiations with the Nykredit, for example, because they have shown their interest in coming in and help financing also the next factories. From the beginning, they had given us a soft commitment of 40% of the cost they would bring in, but now they have increased that to between 60 and 70% of the money that they are willing to bring to the table. So we are looking at different solutions at the moment, but also the existing group of owners are interested in participating with the money to the next 2 factories. So we are almost in place. So in a very short time, we can come out and tell how it has all ended up. But it looks very, very promising for now.
Oh, that's good to hear. And also after Esbjerg and Nakskov, I guess that you also have rollout plans that are exceeding these 3 plants. What is your approach going forward there? Will we also see build, own, operate? What is the locations you are targeting? What is next then?
Yeah, we have lately hired a lady called Lotte Rosenberg here in Denmark. She has been working for Nature Energy and for the old Dong company here in Denmark, later Ørsted. And she has been rolling out some of their setups in around the world, and she will do the same for us now. She is in charge of the rollout for the international part. And here we have different solutions, but all built more or less on the same line. That we are not going to 100% own the operations in other countries. We will make a cooperation with local people in each country, where we will have a setup where WPU will bring the technology. We will bring the customer who buy the oil, and we will also bring some of the financing. And then the local people will bring the rest of the financing, and we will have a split in the ownership of around 75% for WPU and 25% for the operator in the local countries on the ownership. So that's the plan for all the international rollout. We will keep the majority for bringing the technology and some of the financing and the customer for the oil, and then the local people will bring the rest.
Right, exciting to hear that you are also planning ahead of these 3 Denmark facilities. But as I understand, the next 6 months are probably some of the most exciting ones in your history, and we are so much looking forward to following you on that journey to fully operational for the Vejle facility.
Yeah, thank you so much. It will be fantastic because we are doing three things at the same time. We are continuing our ramp up on Forvejle with a dedicated team, and another team will start the construction of Nakskov, and a third team will continue this rollout plan for international presence. So yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Niels Stielund from WPU. We are looking forward to following you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.